All right. I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com. And I'm using new, here's the drill. I'm using new streaming software and I'm not overly familiar with it. And the way this works is that my previous software, I went ahead and logged into it and it had everything set up so that I could go ahead and just access everything live. This I do not. So basically what it is that I can only comment basically through YouTube or the other service. My boy Tim, I don't know if he's going to join me or not. He usually goes through Facebook, so usually I can access Facebook. Hopefully, if I set this up right, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure I did. It's not user friendly to my standards. I'm kind of a technology neophyte here, but I'm trying to set this up that I'm broadcasting to multiple platforms, not just YouTube, because my goal is I want to try to expand Andrews Football the best I can. So. Whoops, I might messed things up there, so hopefully I didn't. So anyway, long and short of the story is I'm going to go ahead and hopefully I have this set up correctly. There's a lot of things I need to learn about this software, but if you do comment, I'm only going to be able to see the comments that you put here on okay, according to this here, and okay, shoot. All right, I'm gonna close this off here. Hopefully I have everything worked out good, but if you're responding to something else besides YouTube, unfortunately I won't be able to see it. If you are just joining the show here, if you don't mind, shoot me a comment and give me a thumbs up, because hey man, it's a great show. What I'm going to do is, because the streaming software is a little different, it's something new. I'm able to watch myself. I'm lagging. It may not have everything set up correctly. It's not as user-friendly as the other software I was using. But hey, that's just the way it is. I'm trying to grow, so you got to step out of your comfort. And Argo's first one in the house, Chiefs. Hey, Argo, man, thanks for giving me the comment. This streaming software, once I get the hang of it, I can post the comments up there. The other streaming software I have doesn't. I'm going to ask you here, what do you think about the Chiefs, man? Oh, man, I got a taco icon. That's awesome. That is awesome. Man, hopefully later on down the line, I'll be a little more familiar. There's so many more options. This software is more set up for gamers. And I'm trying to set this up. Hopefully I did this right. And this is set up on Twitch and Mixer. But truth be told, I have no idea. Man. Argo, thank you very much for the faith, man. It's funny. I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you don't know anybody who knows more about football than myself. But when it comes to computers and streaming software, that I'm lost. But anyway, man, let's just start the show here. We're going to talk football. I did a video where I broke down all the Week 13 games. I was going to kind of just do the same thing. Hopefully, if I get different people that want to talk about different subjects, I'm going to kind of let the stream goes. And just go how it goes here, and okay. And my boy Argo, I hope the Chiefs are smart and play their card. I hope so too. This is a dangerous game, and the reason why I say that is the Raiders are a better team, a much better team than they showed last week. I really could see this being a tough game. If you pay attention to my other video, the over-under, I would take the under. It's going to be windy out there. It's going to be windy, and it's going to be a little chilly. It's going to be in the 40s, which isn't bad, but I think the weather is going to affect Kansas City. But the thing is, though, about this Kansas City Chiefs team, this Chiefs team set up really to play in a dome. You know, you got the high-powered offense. You want to throw the ball, but they did play very well last year in the playoffs in adverse weather conditions. So, man, you know what? I didn't think they were going to stomp, but I like the under, and I did hit. But if anybody told me that the Jets were going to put up 34, I would have said I'll take the over. But the Jets won 3 in a row. The Jets are a better team than people think. So the Raiders. I think the Raiders are really overhyped. I kind of wanted them to win that game against the Jets. That way they'd come into Arrowhead with a false sense of security. But they know that realistically they know they're about an 8-8, 500 team. And the Chiefs are a team that is. I really think that the Chiefs, Baltimore, and New England are the 3 AFC teams. And out of those, I really think Kansas City and New England. I'm fully aware Baltimore beat New England. But in the playoffs, I'll take Bill Belichick. But that's just me. And then my boy Argo here. And it used to be in my old streaming software, I could post the comments up there. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Hopefully next Saturday I will have it. But you're 100% right, though, Argo. The Chiefs need a running back for the playoffs. I think they're going to lean on McCoy, the rookie, Williams, Darren Williams. He's going to play quite a bit. I know that they've been reluctant to let him play. I think you're going to see him get extended playing time. So I think we're going to see a little more of the Williams kid in the Raiders game. I think he could have a big game. But for the playoffs, I think you're going to see a lot of LaShawn McCoy. I'm going to be there. I'm going to dress warm. I hate being cold. But one thing I wanted to point out was I think next year I'm going to do a parlay for every single game. Or I'm sorry, every single week I'm going to do a 3-game parlay. That not only am I just telling you what to bet on, but I'm also providing you the comments, or I'm providing you with the information by doing it live. I can hit Iowa, and if I was going to do, if you watch my video, there's 4 games I like. But all right, CA3 Sports Talk. What is up, brother? Man, I don't know how late you jumped in. I'm using some new streaming software. I'm not really sure if it's working or not. I'm trying to spread my YouTube channel through multiple platforms. If you're new to my channel and you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. My channel is scientifically proven to make all your wildest dreams come true. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. What I was saying was that I think next year I'm going to do a 3-game parlay every single week, and you could track if I'm making a profit or not. I was actually tempted to do a 3-game parlay this week because I like Pittsburgh, and I like Pittsburgh straight up. All right. Now, if I'm doing a 3-game parlay, I'm going to take the 2 points, but I like Pittsburgh straight up. I was going to take the Rams in 3 points, and I was going to take Seattle in 3 points. And then the way it's set up is that I was just going to do a quarter of a betting unit. Just to be clear, the standard betting unit is $100. All right? The standard betting unit is $100. I was going to do a quarter of betting unit. I'm not saying I'm betting $25. And I was going to do a 3-game parlay. A $25 wager would net me, if I remember the number correctly, I want to say it was like 190 and some change. So basically, I'm looking at roughly 7.5 times the initial investment. And again, I'm not giving you specific numbers, and I apologize for that. But somebody who's watching this, or maybe some government entity who's keeping track, wondering if I need to pay additional taxes. Well, hey, look, I made it very clear that I'm not betting $100 or $25. I'm just saying units. So just a little disclaimer there. But I was tempted to do that. I doubt I will. But you know what? I got till now till noon. They head up to Iowa. It's a short drive, and CA3. The playoffs are going to be extremely interesting. It's funny. I follow a lot of Bill's social media, and they are talking a ton of trash after this game. And then somebody responded in one of the Facebook groups I follow, and he wanted to know if the Bills are for real. Now, I said no, because the Bills are going to get the 5 seed. And I'm not sure if when your comment, you're talking about AFC or NFC. I think both are really going to be interesting. The NFC more, so I'm going to start with the AFC. The Bills are going to be the 5 seed. And they're either going to play, as of right now, Kansas City or Houston. Okay? And that AFC South is completely up for grabs. I think the Chiefs are going to win the West. They pretty much get it on lockdown once they win Sunday, and I really think they win. But whoever's got that 4th seed is going to play Buffalo, and I don't think Buffalo stands a chance once they get to the playoffs. I mean, you tell me. I'm obviously a Chiefs fan, but let's say Chiefs get a 4 seed. Are you really worried about Buffalo coming into town and winning? I'm not. If you're the Houston Texans, here's the thing that stinks about this. If I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I think the 2 wildcard teams in the AFC are going to be Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I'd rather play Buffalo than Pittsburgh. I don't want anything to do with Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Now, we've been burned by them before, so that's what I think. The NFC is a lot more interesting. Same situation, though. Dallas is going to get that 4 seed. I think they're going to win the East. All right. I think they're going to win the East, but let's say it's Philly. All right. They're going to play who doesn't win the NFC West, and that's either going to be a Seattle or San Francisco team that could be anywhere from 11 to 13 win team. That's going to be a great matchup. And then you have the 6th seed, who I think is going to be Minnesota, and Minnesota could be an 11-5 team. So that's going to be a fun game, and that could be against Green Bay. I think it could be a Green Bay Minnesota matchup in the playoffs. That's just fun. And no, that's right. Buffalo. Not only can Buffalo not score enough points. I know Josh Allen had a great game, but they still use him too much as a runner. And I don't think he's a guy that if you're down 14, 17 points, you can use him to come back. Buffalo, bad weather could be a trap. You're right, Argo. But here's the thing. You're going against, it's a non-issue if it's Houston or Indianapolis. And don't get me wrong, Tennessee could still win that division, but let's just go with Houston for right now, because that's what it is. Houston and Buffalo in the playoffs, that's a non-factor. But Arrowhead, if it's bad weather, Buffalo would have an advantage. They'd have an advantage in that they're able to run the ball. The defense is better. But let me ask you this, Argo. The Chiefs play Buffalo in the first round of the playoffs. How scared are you? I'm not scared at all. I'm looking to the next game already, whether it's New England or Buffalo. But truth be told, I think the Chiefs are going to get the 3 seed, and we're going to end up playing Pittsburgh in the first round of playoffs. That's how I see the AFC going, and that's kind of what I'm scared about, is that the Steelers are hot. I think the Steelers are the wild card team to be scared of, not Buffalo. But Buffalo, here's the thing about the Buffalo Bills. They are building a really, really good team going into the 20s. Josh Allen still has a lot of work to do. The defense is young. The defense is good. I don't think they're a great defense. And exactly. And the game's going to be at Arrowhead. The Chiefs are going to win the West. When the Chiefs win the West, and let's not get carried away, but basically when the Chiefs beat the Raiders Sunday, and I think they will, they're essentially going to have a 3-game lead with 4 to play, because there'll be 2 games up, plus they swept them, so they need 3 wins. So the Chiefs will go to New England. I'm going to say it now. I don't see the Chiefs going to Foxborough and winning. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think the Patriots match up really, really good with Kansas City. But here's the thing about the Patriots. Is it going to be a close game? Because if it's a close game, then the Patriots better be scared, because Kansas City had the bye at the right time, and Kansas City's getting healthy, where in New England, they traded for Sanu. He's banged up. They got a kicker who's not playing. The offensive line's not playing good. The defense is this is probably one of the best defenses I've seen in probably the last 30 years. I'm sitting here. When's the last time the 85 Bears? You know, no, maybe the Ravens defense. But here's the thing. The Patriots defense is the best defense I've seen probably in the last 20 years. And then you still got Tom Brady. It's not like you got the 2000 Ravens defense with Dilfer, or the 2002 Buccaneers defense with Brad Johnson. You have a great defense, and then you got Tom Brady on the other side. You like the Chiefs in Foxborough. I heard early on the line is 4. The Chiefs have to win in Foxborough. Okay, I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. They don't need to win in Foxborough. And let's go back to 2008 when the Patriots had that perfect season. The last game of the year they played against the Giants, and the Giants played them tough. So they went into the Super Bowl, and they're like, hey, we can play with you guys. You guys aren't this unbeatable team. And that's why I think that when they play New England, they just got to play them close. If New England blows them out, or they keep Pat Mahomes to 17 out of 31, 150 yards and 3 interceptions, and they win by 3 touchdowns, then I'll be afraid. But if it's like it was the last 2 times where Mahomes put up 40 in a loss, and what was it? Was it 31 in a loss? I know he put up 40 last time. It was 43-40. And then I would be scared if I was the Patriots, because the Chiefs are entering the end of the season healthy. And last year when we played New England in the playoffs, I don't think we were at 100%. I'm trying to remember which player was injured, but bottom line, I do think if Kansas City can play New England tough, New England to me is a team that is coming into the playoffs banged up. And not only that, I think that they're focused so much on Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. The Chiefs, I like the Chiefs are kind of an underdog. So, this is cool. This is something new. All right. All right. That's a great comment. You know what? I've shown you guys this before. This is why you follow Andrewsfootball. Okay, this is a betting slip at Vegas. As you can see, it's a Superbook. And what you can't see is that I got over 10.5 wins. I got 10 betting units, 10.5 wins. And I need 11-5. So they can lose to the Patriots as long as they don't lose another game. Well, I kind of disagree with you there, Argo. There's no secret to beat the Patriots. It's not a question of how, it's just a question of doing it. See, the Patriots defense is more suited to stop the pass, not the run. And that's one thing about Bill Belichick, is that he looked at trying to get to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. How do you beat the Rams in the Super Bowl? And then this offseason, he basically built his defense to stop the pass, because who's his number one threat? It's Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Because they lose that coin flip, they probably lose the game. You can run against this Patriots defense. You can't throw against them. And then running against them is not completely easy. I mean, you what the Ravens have is a running back at quarterback, and I'm fully aware that Lamar Jackson's playing at an MVP level, and I'm not insulting his passing abilities, but he's basically like another running back there. And then Mark Ingram, very underrated, a really, really good running back. You can't see Chiefs don't have a running back as good as Ingram, and they don't have a second running back like Lamar Jackson. And if it sounds like I'm insulting Lamar Jackson, I'm not. It's just I'm talking about his ability to run the ball, and that's a positive. I don't think it's a positive long term, and I think the Ravens building their offense this way in the long term is really stupid. But I mean, they got the NFL MVP, and they've won like what, 7 straight. But Kansas City Chiefs beat the Ravens. I don't fear the Ravens. I don't fear Buffalo, but I am scared of New England. New England has a defense that is built to beat Kansas City. That's why if the Chiefs play them close, even in a loss, you got to watch out. You got to watch out because Andy Reid is very, very good at making adjustments. Very good at making adjustments. But you want a dark horse in the AFC. What about Pittsburgh? What about Pittsburgh? I mean, the defense is starting to play really good. Can Connor stay healthy? I mean, all they need, they're a team that I think it's really scary because they're kind of playing old school, but they have enough weapons on offense that if they do get down, they're still a team to beat. So, well, Buffalo's not that good. Argo. Buffalo's just plain simple. They're just not that good. I know they're 9-3. I know they played a great game on Thanksgiving, but I mean, I'll tell you what. I think that they're going to play Houston, or let's just say the winner of the AFC South. Well, it's Houston and Indianapolis. But Buffalo's not going to win that game. They're just not. I think it's a new. Okay, he's. This streaming software doesn't allow me to post a comment, so I'm not sure who's seeing this, who's not. And as this goes on, hopefully I'll get this fixed. But is the new Steelers quarterback? Yeah, because he's a natural passer. It might even be an improvement. I liked Mason Rudolph a lot, but he wasn't playing well. This new quarterback, he doesn't care. I mean, he's lucky to have a roster spot. You know, what the Steelers are going to do is play old school football. They're just going to run the ball. They're going to play good defense. They're going to play solid special teams. They're not going to make mistakes. They're not going to beat themselves. And they're going to be pretty dangerous. They're going to be pretty dangerous. So, yeah, I'm drinking coffee. It's actually hot chocolate today. But big fan of what the Steelers are doing. I think they're a dangerous team, and I think they're going to play Kansas City in the playoffs. And I think Chiefs fans should be very afraid because that Steelers defense is good. It's really good, and it keeps getting better. And they're a team, I think, going into 2020 with Roethlisberger back, if he's able to play like he used to play, is going to be a dangerous team. I originally thought that Mason Rudolph would look good enough that they would just kind of part ways with Roethlisberger, but he hasn't shown that. So the Steelers basically are going to rely on running the ball control, good defense. It's old school football. And it's kind of funny because New England's playing old school football in a different way because they're playing great defense, but the defense is designed to stop the passing attack because who's the number one threat in the AFC if you're the Patriots? Well, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And what do the Kansas City Chiefs do? They want to throw the ball. 3rd and 1, Kansas City wants to line up shotgun and get cute and throw the ball. So, man, some great comments. I can't wait to kind of play around some more with this streaming software. It was supposed to be able to stream on Twitch and Mixer. I'm not sure it's really doing that. I think that maybe it's something you gotta pay for. I'm not 100% sure. It's something new. It's something different. But I will work on it. Wow, the Raiders. I actually thought that they were going to draft a quarterback this year, Argo. I thought the Raiders were not sold on Carr, but I think that they're going to live with Carr. They're just going to it's going to be the Raiders, Gruden, and Carr. And I still think that the Dolphins are in love with Tua. And the Dolphins, the way the draft is going right now, I think the Dolphins have the 4th pick in the draft. They may try to get to 2. And a lot of it has to do with the combine and everything. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but the way the draft is going to set up, I think Chase Young is going to go 1. And I think the Bengals are going to go ahead and they're going to say, hey, let's take the guy who's a lock, and then we'll do quarterback in the offseason, and they'll take a look at a journeyman, a backup, maybe somebody like Teddy Bridgewater, maybe even somebody like Cam Newton. I think that they could go in a variety of different directions, but I think they go Chase Young, and then I think number 2 will be Tua. Horrible move for the Raiders not getting a W. Are you talking about? Oh, okay. Okay. Message retracted. That's all right, man. Hey, Argo, man. You thank you so much for putting some comments in here. As you know, you've been following. You've been part of the live stream. I've been able to post your comments onto my streaming software. I can't do it with this software. I haven't got it figured out yet. And One Pride 40, welcome to the chat, man. And it's funny, I went on Luke G's show and I tried explaining this. I'm not aware. Hey, One Pride 40, I'm using some different software, so I'm not able to post your comments on there like I was in the past. I haven't figured that part out yet, but you're asking, do I think the Lions will take Young? And the answer is no, 100% no. The Lions cannot draft Chase Young, because I think he's going to go 1. And if he doesn't go 1, he's going to go 2. And there's no way that you can get enough draft capital together to move up to 2. And even if you can get enough trade capital, whoever's at 2, whether it's the Giants, the Redskins, or the Dolphins, they're not going to want to give that pick up. Especially if it's the Giants. If the Giants are picking number 2, and they got Barkley, and they got Daniel Jones, and Chase Young's on the board, you could give up anything and everything, and you're not going to get it. You have the Lions. I tried explaining this on Luke G's show. The Lions have 0 chance of getting Chase Young, 0. I mean, even if they lose every single game, they're not going to be able to get the first or the second pick. Okay. So do the Lions want to draft Chase Young? Yeah, so do 32 other teams. He's that good. He's a guy who I think is going to be a Pro Bowl caliber difference maker day 1. I actually think he goes number 1. I think the Bengals are going to take Chase Young. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up here. Great comment, by the way, One Pride 40. Great comment. Excuse me. They were talking about on Luke G's show, and by the way, if you're a Lions fan, you want to check out some great Lions content, I strongly recommend my boy Luke G. Great guy to talk football with. Great show that they put on. They were talking about Chase Young. It is. I'm telling you this. It is impossible for the Lions to get Chase Young. Derek Brown or AJ. Well, okay. Wait till and I still got the Auburn Alabama game on my DVR, so I haven't had a chance to watch that yet. But Derek Brown's a guy. Since you brought him up, I've been paying extra attention to him. He is a difference maker. But one thing is that sometimes after the combine, and I'm mispronouncing his name, but Jakile Polite, defensive end, outside linebacker out of Florida. Everybody had him as a first round pick, top 20 pick. Looked like he was going to be a stud. Went to the combine and had a bad combine. Then did even worse on the interview questions. Went late in the 3rd round to the Jets. I thought the Jets got a steal. They cut him. Here's a guy who everybody thought was going to be a first round pick, top 20 pick, a difference maker, and he ends up not even being in the National Football League. The combine is big. So I really want to see how these guys do, not only the drills and the 40 time, but how they interview. And that's going to be big. Now, as far as the Lions are concerned, I I actually think the Lions could have a new head coach, and what kind of system is he going to bring in? But I will say this, from what I've seen of Derek Brown, I think he can play in multi-dimensional schemes. If Patricia's there, I think he'll fall in love with this kid. He's got to test good. He's got to test good, but you also have some holes in your secondary, and that's something you got to think about. And then the Bengals need a core QB. Absolutely. They do need a quarterback, but there's multiple quarterbacks that are going to be available that are good starters. You can have Teddy Bridgewater. You can go Cam Newton, and Cam Newton is going to be available. All right. Trying to think here off the top of my head, anybody else, but Cam Newton. If I'm the Bengals, I take Chase Young. I go with Cam Newton for 2020. And then keep in mind, there's some good quarterbacks in the draft that you may be able to get in the second round. Early on, Jacob Eason and Jordan Love, the quarterback out of Utah State and Washington, respectively, are guys that I've seen in round one. I think one of those guys will drop. And these two guys are... I want to be clear, if I'm... especially Jacob Eason, I would definitely stay in school one more year if I'm Jacob Eason. And Jordan Love, I don't know what kind of talent you have surrounding you. I watched him play twice and he got blown out. So Teddy over Newton. I agree with you, Argo. The only reason I say Cam is he's a big enough name and he would attract enough attention that you're not constantly looking at Chase Young. It may be more of a media ploy because either one of these quarterbacks are really kind of a rental. You're only wanting them to hang out. Well, all right. You're only wanting them to hang out for a year or two. You're not trying to build your team around these guys. So, Matty here signed a 5-year deal. Matt Patricia is not going anywhere. I hope you're right. But I watched that press conference after that loss, and he looked like dead man walking. And I could see them going in another way. I really could. I think that Matt Patricia, if you had to ask me, unless Matt Patricia wins like 3 out of 4 games. But if I'll tell you this: if they don't win another game, he's 100% gone. He is 100% on the hot seat. I really believe that, and continuity is everything. And I think he's doing some things good, but that defense is not good. I thought they played pretty good against Chicago, to tell you the truth. Pretty good, not great. But keep in mind, Trubisky, who's been under fire by everybody and who's looked horrible all year. Did you see what the game he had? I think it was 29 out of 38 for 339, 3 touchdowns. You're right. Bob Quinn could go also. Yeah. Detroit definitely could clean house. Detroit could definitely clean house. I was talking about this on Luke G. I got on and I made some comments. There's some really bright young coordinators that are going to be head coaches. Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay, I think he's going to be a head coach in 2020. He's a bright guy. Heard nothing but great things about him. I think he's a guy that he's a guy I think that would be great if you're a team that has a young quarterback. I don't know if that's a great fit for Detroit or not. But I could see the Lions cleaning house and going after a coordinator. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator for the Saints. He was part of he was a Raiders head coach when Al Davis was there, and it was like Al Davis's last year. It was kind of a dumpster fire. He really didn't get a fair shake, but he's a guy I think that would be an excellent head coach. I know his last name's Singh, the defensive coordinator for San Francisco. He's a guy I think that people genuinely like. and he's a guy that you have to get. I think you have to get a good offensive mind for him, but he's a guy I could see doing some good things. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to happen, but Quinn and Patricia, as far as being on the hot seat, they are. But let's see how they look the last couple of weeks. I think Jason Garrett's gone in Dallas after the season. I think Shermer is gone for the Giants. I mean, they've lost 7 straight. That's unacceptable. Not for Giants fans. Giants fans are notorious in an organization. They don't. It's actually funny. The Giants organization's always been a pretty good organization. They're not used to losing streaks. So I think Shermer's definitely gone. And the thing is, though, the Giants, I think, have a bright future, but I think Shermer's gone. Dan Quinn in Atlanta is also gone. So there's a lot of those are 3 coaches that all of them played on Thanksgiving. I think all of those guys are gone. I think Zach Taylor at the Bengals, if they do go winless. Spoiler alert, and I said this in my last video, but I do think that Cincinnati wins this week. They play the Jets, who have been playing really good football, but I got a weird feeling. It's just one of those weird things. Brandon Lutz. All right, welcome to the show, man. Do I think the Eagles? Absolutely. 100%. They're traveling to Miami. To be perfectly honest with you, that's not really a question. They are a 9.5 point favorite. I think the big question is, do they cover 9.5? And I think they could. You got to remember something. They have a chance to still win that division. Now I'm going under the impression you're an Eagles fan. I don't know, but they have a chance to win that division. I think Cowboys win the East. And Philly and Dallas play in a couple weeks. It's going to be a great game. I'm excited for it. And the winner of that game will win the division more than likely. But the Eagles definitely will win. I think they even cover 9.5, but it's really rare that you take a road team to put money on a road team to cover double digits. I would not do that. But 100%, Brandon, man. Hey, man, thanks for joining, man. I'm glad you joined. I haven't seen you before, so man, I got a small channel, and that's kind of my opinion. And Go Lions has joined. What do I think about the Detroit Lions? I got a soft spot for Detroit. Go Lions. So I've been following them. I was really, really high on the Detroit Lions earlier in the season. I thought that this was a team that I thought they were about a wild card team. And for the first quarter of the season, I thought that the Lions were probably going to win. Oh, future. Okay. The question is, does Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn stay? If they stay, I think the future's bright. But if they go, you don't know, because I have no idea what you would do. But I think the future for the Detroit Lions is good, but you need to fix that defense, and I'm not sure where you go. That defense is bad, and you're Matt Patricia. You're supposed to be a defensive expert. I know Trey Flowers missed some games with a concussion. They need some help all over that defense. Trubisky looked really good. Now, I'm higher on Trubisky than most people, but you can't have a guy like Trubisky go 29 out of 38 for 338 in Detroit, because you got Kirk Cousins and you got Aaron Rodgers, who are both superior quarterbacks. So the future for Detroit Lions, I want to see what they do, because if they don't win another game, I think they blow. I think Quinn and Patricia could be gone. If they look a little better, then I could see them back. And hey, man, go Lions! Thank you so much, man. I've been really following the Lions a lot this year. I got to go on my boy Luke G's show. I've been on there a couple times. Me and him chatted, talked football. He's kind of the one who persuaded me to do like what he does and do the live stream. So I've been following the Lions. I would have bet a lot of money for the Lions to cover 6.5 wins. The bet the over, but the number was negative 150. One of my subscribers who hasn't joined yet has the Lions 7 wins. And I don't think that's going to cover, and that's a damn shame because he's a cool guy. And I would have bet on that too. He got plus 120, which means a $100 wager wins you 120. So, how do I feel about Carson Wentz? The upside is amazing, Brandon. The upside is amazing. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, man. My channel is scientifically proven to make all your wildest dreams come true. And don't forget, give me a thumbs up. You can give me a thumbs down too. But Carson Wentz, the upside's amazing. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. But the one thing that does bother me, and it's not a Carson Wentz issue, but the team last year when Foles took over just looked, I mean, the defense just went from being a shit defense to like a top 10 defense. I love Carson Wentz. I think you guys got a superstar. I thought it was smart to give him the contract extension early because you gave him less money than you gave Goff, and that was a brilliant move because he's a better quarterback than Goff. And I'm not saying that based on this year. I thought that last year. I thought Wentz would be the guy that's better. I mean, he's got everything you want in a quarterback. He's big. He's athletic. He can make every throw. So, yeah, I'm really high on Carson Wentz. I didn't think Deshaun Jackson would be that big of an influence. So I know that when they signed him, they made it sound like a good deal. He had, I think, those 2 long touchdowns in the first game. Then he's been injured. But this is a draft that you can get a wide receiver in. So, yeah, I like Carson Wentz. Quite a bit. I think the Eagles are in really good shape, but your defense has been bad. They've been playing better lately. I still got the Cowboys winning the East, but I think going forward you're in a much better situation than Dallas. You're in a good situation to be dominant in the 20s. One Pride 40. Do I like Bob Quinn's draft classes? And I'll tell you the truth. 2 years ago, I was really, really surprised, and I'm drawing a blank. They took the center out of Arkansas, and I thought that they were going to take the guy out of Ohio State, and a lot of people felt like there was a reach, but he played really, really good. And then T.J. Hawkinson, I didn't think that they would draft a tight end at 7, but what they're doing is they're doing things a little unorthodox in Detroit, but I like it. I actually like his draft classes, but if you look and you look at the experts, the draft scales or the draft rankings, I'll be honest, that linebacker that they got in the second round, I can't remember if it was BYU or Hawaii. I haven't heard about him, man. So, hey, go Lions. Thanks, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm kind of going back and forth between questions here, but here's the thing, go Lions. Andrewsfootball is for all 32 teams, okay? I'm a Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs season ticket holder since 1989, but this channel is not about the Chiefs. I'll talk Chiefs, but I talk Lions. I'll talk Broncos. I'll talk Falcons. I got one guy, he's a big Falcons fan, and he sent me an email. By the way, in case I haven't put it up there, you can email me anytime, askandrewsfootball@yahoo.com. All my picks are 100% free. And you want a game, you shoot me an email, give me 24 hours. All right? If you shoot me an email Sunday morning asking, hey Dan, do I want to take, for example, do I want to take Philly minus 9.5 at noon, and you email me at 9, I'm not going to get to you, but if you give me 24 hours, I'll send you an email. All my picks are free of charge. 2018, yeah. I mean, you're not this? That wasn't One Pride 40. You're talking about last year's, not this year with Hawkinson, because that center and Glasgow. I love that pick. That ended up being a great pick. And here's the thing about the Lions. I like what they're doing on offense. They're going more old school. If they could stay together, I actually wouldn't be surprised in the first round if you go running back. There's a few running backs, but keep in mind if you let me backtrack. They have to trade down, get some more draft picks, but they're going to get another running. I think they're going to draft a running back. I think they're going to draft a running back. Should Galladay make the Pro Bowl? I think so. Absolutely. I don't. You know as well as I do, the Pro Bowl is more of it's more of a popularity contest, and let's say the Lions are a 3-4 win team. Hopefully they're not. I hope they get a couple wins. I'm pulling for the Lions to get a couple wins, but a 4-win team will Galladay make the Pro Bowl? He probably won't, but he should. And Ragnow is a center. They moved him to guard, but he was a center, and I know he played at guard. I think this year he's still playing center. So Bills, Brandon, I'm mad as hell because my favorite pick was the Bears in 1, but I made the video Wednesday when the quarterback situation. So I took the under, and it was 38.5. Of course, scores 24-20. So I missed it, but I was mad. I would have took the Bears in 1. And Brandon, I'm assuming you're new to my channel. I hope I come across, the respectful, because I love new people and love new comments. But I'm only picking point spreads. I'm not just picking winners. I don't know if you're referring to point spreads or not. I had. It's actually funny. I had the Bills covering, but I thought Dallas would win because it was 6.5 points, and I thought it'd be a much closer game. I was shocked that the Bills won that decisively. I was really shocked. That was a really good game that the Bills played. But the Saints, I had the Saints covering. Those onside kicks pissed me off. Because I'm like, come on, they weren't going to win the damn game, but just the fact they're recovering. But man, hey, I'm glad you won 3-0. I'm glad you joined, because here's the thing, Brandon. I don't know your background. I don't know how big of a football fan you are, but since you made picks, this channel will help you make some motherfucking money. All right, I bet on football, and I consistently win. So if you follow me, I will help you, and all my picks are free of charge. Go Lions, man! Thank you. Here's the thing, man. That's the thing about Andrews Football. I'm telling you this right now. I'm on Facebook, and there's all these Facebook fan pages, and man, a lot of them are dummies, man. A lot of these guys are idiots. I'm looking at my. It's like, this is my fan base. You guys are this stupid, but I'm glad. I'm a Chiefs fan, but I look at things objectively. I told you next week. I think Patriots are going to beat Kansas City. I said that. My boy Argo, he hasn't commented. If I remember right, Argo is at work, if I remember right. But he hadn't commented a bit. But I know he's a big Chiefs fan. He likes Kansas City and Foxborough. I don't, because one thing that the Patriots did this offseason is they designed a defense to specifically beat Kansas City. And Kansas City went out and they got the defensive coordinator who beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls. So it'll be an interesting playoffs. But I right now I think New England's best team in the AFC. I will say this, and maybe this is the fanboy in me talking. We beat Baltimore at Arrowhead, and we beat them pretty handily. I don't fear Baltimore in the playoffs. I really don't. Even if we got to go into Baltimore. But I don't see us beating New England. I really don't. Now, keep in mind, there's still a whole month of football left. I mean, things could happen. So, Kenny G and Marvin, I think all pro. All pro. Well, I'm trying to think here. I was just thinking about them earlier, and I was going to bring it up, and I'm I am so embarrassed. The Saints receiver. He's the best receiver in football. 13, went to Ohio State, and I am so embarrassed, man. I was just thinking about him because I was going to talk about him being MVP, and I am so embarrassed about this. I gotta look it up right now. I can't believe I can't think of his name. Michael Thomas. Okay, I'm sorry about that. We got all pro receivers. Michael Thomas, best receiver in football. I know Julio Jones didn't play, but he'd probably be. Do Kenny G and Marvin Jones deserve to be all pro? Maybe, not first team. But I'm gonna tell you something though. Those are two damn good receivers. It was funny because when the Chiefs played the Lions, somebody commented that the Lions got better receivers than the Chiefs, and I was kind of snickering. It's like, you got somebody better than Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins? I don't think so, but in hindsight, they may. Kenny G and Marvin Jones may be better than Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins. Will Hawk be an all-star when he's older? I think Hawkinson, and keep in mind, there's a lot of different factors, but in a couple of years, he could be the best tight end in football. Absolutely. And when you say older, I think in the next 2 years, he could be the best tight end in football. Chiefs fans will hate this, but I think best tight end is George Kittle. He's better than Kelsey. Kelsey's a better receiver. And the way the Chiefs used Kelsey, because it's funny, for a long time, people would be like, we need a number one receiver. I was like, we got one. He wears 87. The way the Chiefs used Travis Kelce's the best tight end in football, but Kittle can block, he can catch, he's a deep threat. To me, Kittle's a better tight end than Kelce, but the Kansas City Chiefs don't have Kelce block. All right, so anyway, hopefully that made sense. Man, I don't blame you, man. I knew the Chiefs were going to win Week 4. And the reason why, the Chiefs have a legitimate Super Bowl team. I think the Lions have a legitimate wild card team. I don't think that they were a threat to win the division. But after that game, I thought they were going to win the division. After that game, because they were 2-1-1. I'm like, I think Lions are going to win the division. I think the Lions are a damn good team. They just fell apart. He does look faster. Is it just me? He does look faster than Kelsey. I mean, and Argo came in. Oops, Kittle. It's kind of cool. I never saw the retracted message before. That's really cool. No, Kittle looks faster than Kelsey. He really does. He looks like he's faster. I think Kittle's best tight end in football. But the way the Chiefs use Kelsey is he's basically the Chiefs' number one option. He's very similar to Zach Ertz, except I think he's way better than Ertz. Ertz may have better hands than Kelsey, but Kelsey's much better than Ertz as far as once he gets in the open field. Once Kelsey gets in the open field, he's very dangerous. But Kittle, I think is the best tight end in football. So I say that because take a minute. Bush. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I didn't know that they didn't really like Hawkinson. I'm kind of surprised about that because I think he's a great tight end. You need some help on defense, but going into the offseason, I thought the Lions' defense was a strength, and I'm not sure what's wrong. I mean, you do need some help in the pass rush department. Flowers, I know, got a concussion. He hasn't played as well. You need help on that defensive line. It's funny. I know Oliver had a few plays in Dallas, but all in all, I haven't really heard too much about Oliver being a difference maker. I'll tell you what, if I had to choose between Ed Oliver or Hawkinson, I'd take Hawkinson easily. I don't know about Bush. Bush looks like he's going to be a star. Burns is a pretty good player, but I mean, I think Hawkinson is a guy who, in a couple of years from now, may be the best tight end in football. He's a good blocker right away, and keep in mind when you're playing with a second and third string quarterback that may hurt. Now, last year Kittle set an NFL record with the kid out of Southern Miss throwing to him instead of Garoppolo, but I didn't know your fan base was really trashing the Hawkinson pick. I had no idea because this is a really, really good player. And guys, don't forget, give me the thumbs up here. And if you're new to my channel, and because I've seen a few names I haven't seen before, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's scientifically proven to make all your wildest dreams come true. This video is a little different. I'm using some new editing software. It's something that I haven't used before, so it's a little different. It's just a little different for me. It's throwing me off a little bit. So anyway, they hated him because they took Ebron over. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you passed. Yeah, you're right, because Donald went the next pick. Donald went 10 and Ebron took 9. But and there was a lot of Ed Oliver, Aaron Donald comparisons. I didn't see it at all. I did not see it at all. I didn't think Ed Oliver was really that great of a pick. So I did not know that. But Hawkinson is a very, very good player. Part of the hate that you have with Hawkinson really has to do with Kerryon Johnson getting injured, because they really were kind of building the offense around Kerryon Johnson. That's why I think the Lions, depending on where they pick, because I haven't looked at the mock draft after this week, but let's say the Lions pick top 10. If I'm the Lions, I drop down, and then maybe even as early as the second round, maybe even the first round, you get a running back. They really need some help on the running game. I like that 43 McKinnon or something. I like him, but they need somebody else. Hey, go Lions! I appreciate it. Here's the thing, man. My old software that I was using, I may go to that after next week. I might go back to it. I could post the comments. I could do a lot more. The streaming software I have, I don't think I'm really using it right, because it's supposed to spread it along multiple things. It's more for gamers. It has like a picture-in-picture thing, which I'm thinking about using once ESPN releases the playoff predictor. I think I'm going to share my screen and then just break down the playoffs from both the AFC and the NFC. Well, here's the thing, One Pride 40. I think that they believed Kerryon Johnson was a 20 carry a back. 20 carry a game back. I think that that's what they were doing. And I think that they could draft a guy, because there's a few running backs in this draft. Now, I wouldn't recommend taking one top 10, but there's a few running backs in this draft that are guys that they are 3 down backs. I got on my DVR the Wisconsin kid. I can't remember. Jonathan Taylor. I got it on my DVR. Jonathan Taylor. He's a guy that maybe late 20s, second round that you could take, and he's a 20-plus carry a guy back. Moss, the running back out of Utah. I want to see what he runs. All right? Because if he runs under 4.55, he's a first-round player, in my opinion. I think he's going to come into the combine weighing about 220. He's a 3-down back. God, who's another running back? Actually, Chiefs. There's been a lot of mock drafts about. I'm gonna mispronounce his name. The Clemson running back, Etienne or Etwine, whatever. I can't pronounce his thing. Apparently, he's going to run like a 4.25, and there's been a couple mock drafts where he goes to Kansas City. I personally would love that. But there's several running backs. Now, keep in mind the combine is going to be a big thing, because Etienne, or hopefully you guys know who the fuck I'm talking about. By the way, I got everything set up for 18 and above, so I do use a little profanity. So if you're listening to this around little ones, I apologize. In the future, I'm going to try to set something that got that 18 advisory label up. So that's just how I am. But basically, a lot of it's going to depend on the combine. Because if Moss runs like a 4.75, then no, he's not going anywhere near the first round. That may be good because Benny Snell, the running back for the Steelers, he's a guy that if he had a better 40 time. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people noticed that he didn't have a lot of breakaway, but if he's a guy who ran a 4.55, he probably would have went in the second round. I think he ran like a 4.7 something, so he went in the fourth. It'll be very interesting to see what the Lions do in the offseason. First things first, how do they do these last 4 games? Because Matt Patricia is 100% on the hot seat. I 100% believe that. So I do think that the oh, that's what I'm hoping, man. That's what I'm hoping. YouTube had a big thing with Kappa. If you haven't been paying attention, they got a big deal. So I changed everything on my settings to be 18 and above. In the past, I tried to keep it kind of user friendly in case you're watching this in the office. But then I'm like, you know what? You know, who fucking cares? Look, if you're going to listen to this in the office and you're listening about gambling, you know, oh, wow. I think he's going to stay in Tennessee. I think Tennessee really loves Derrick Henry. Man, I'll tell you what, if anybody's going to sign Derrick Henry, it's going to be the fucking Chiefs. Now I'm using every other sentence. I got profanity, but you ever watch Derrick Henry against the Chiefs? Every game against Kansas City Chiefs, he's had like 150 yards. He's like the Chiefs killer. But I think he's destined to stay in Tennessee. I think the Tennessee fan base loves that guy. As a matter of fact, the only way I can see Derrick Henry is if maybe you traded Stafford and then you got Henry in a draft pick in return. But that's how you guys need Diggs. I got that at halftime right now. It's 31-27. The Diggs kid out of Alabama, who's about the same size as Derrick Henry, that's a move that they could do. I think Detroit's on a youth movement. I don't know because, I mean, well, let me ask you this here. Is Trey Flowers part of a youth movement? Because he was in New England, I think, for 4 years. I really don't think so, to be perfectly honest. If Patricia's there. And the reason why is the one thing you have to understand about Matt Patricia, he wants to run a very complicated defense, and it's not good to run a Matt Patricia type defense with the young players. So, Trayvon Riggs, that's not the running back? Yeah, that might be the. I thought it was Diggs, but yeah, I got him on my DVR. He's slashing up Auburn. I know the game's over now, but I'm gonna keep watching that game because yeah, he's a guy who earlier they're thinking he would stay for one more year. Now it's looking like he could go in the second round. But go Lions. Here's the problem. I don't think Matt Patricia wants a young team. And because he runs an extremely complicated defense. So you need players that can fit into that. And yeah, I know you got some young guys and everything, but when I say you're on a youth movement, does that mean that you're gonna get rid of Slay and you're gonna get rid of Stafford? And if Patricia's there, I don't think so. Now Slay may get a lot of money from somewhere else, but yeah, I thought so, but so I don't know, but I will say this, that I think the Lions need some help on the defensive front seven, but I know that even though they do got a lot of salary cap money, what do you do with a guy like Slay? I mean, do you give him the money he wants? Or do you kind of move on? And here's the thing, Lions, man, go Lions. That's the whole reason I started doing live streams, because I want to talk to people. It's funny, it was like my first live stream. I had a Falcons fan and a Seahawks fan. We talked Falcons. It was Falcons, Seahawks, and Lions. I didn't even talk anything about the Chiefs. And that's what I think. I think Slay's gone after this year. But if you're going to play man coverage, you really can't do that with rookies. All right, that's the problem. I know. A couple years ago, the Patriots gave. I played. Man, I'm losing the names, man. I can't believe I forgot his name because I think he could be defensive MVP, and I completely forgot his name, man. I'm off today, man. I'm off today. I can't believe I can't remember the name. Stephen Gilmore. They signed him from Buffalo to a 5-year, $60 million deal, and he was a good but not great corner. And I was like, why are you giving him that much money? Is that a bad move? But he's a man corner, and it took him a couple years. You can't, if you're going to play man, yeah, Gilmore. I couldn't believe I forgot his name. If you're going to play man, you need experienced corners because they don't play a lot of man in college. I know that kid out of Ohio State. I watched that game. Actually, I'm a little embarrassed because I thought not only did I think Michigan would cover, I thought they had an outside chance to win this game. Is Ohio State that good, or is Michigan just like a top 20 team? I don't want to bring up the sore subject, man. I got a couple Lions guys, commenting here, and here I am, bringing up Ohio State, Michigan. Number one rivalry in college football, as far as I'm concerned, that Michigan. Hey, man, thanks, go Lions, man. But that's just the number one college rivalry. I'm more excited about the Alabama-Auburn because there's going to be more of those players in the NFL. The running back out of Ohio State, I want to see what he runs. He had a great game. He's a 3-down back. But if he runs, like I said, under 4.55, he's a guy who could be a Lion next year. So these are all things that, I follow the draft big time. I'm going to have a video for every single team. And I did this last year. What I do is that once the draft order comes out, 1 through 32, I do a separate video for all 32 picks. And then teams like for example, the Rams that don't have a first round pick, I do a video for them separate. And then I'll do another video if I got a team taking a quarterback, but then they sign a quarterback and I have to change my video. I was completely wrong about the Lions. I thought they were going to go offensive line this year. And I didn't think that they are. I didn't think they would go Hawkinson. I'll admit it. I was way off. Ohio State is complete legit. I'm watching Alabama and Auburn, and I'm not sure Ohio State's not better. I'm not sure that they're not better. However, I will say this. I'm watching. I got the DVR on Minnesota and Wisconsin. I want to see how they do against either one of those teams. Hopefully, it's Minnesota because I think that's just a great story. It's kind of cool. But I would be shocked if they didn't win the Big Ten by a considerable margin. Didn't they beat Wisconsin really bad this year? I could be wrong here. So they need O-line, though. Are you talking about Ohio State, or are you talking Detroit? I'm excited, man. This is a great live stream here. You guys have brought up some really great questions. I got some comments for some other people. Scout Andrew. I got to watch more college football. The Lions. The Lions need a lot of things. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason. Because I think that they're going to go through free agency for a lot of their issues. And then I think what they're going to do in the draft is that I think this year is going to be a little different than the last two. I think this draft they're going to take best player available. And they're not going to get Chase Young, but they could get somebody really exciting. I think that they could go corner. That would probably be my first guess. The kid out of Ohio State, I've heard is the best corner in the draft. One of my favorite players is Delpit, the safety out of LSU. I think he's a guy that Matt Patricia would just absolutely fall in love with because he can do a lot of different things. It'll be interesting to see what he does in the combine. So before we talk about the draft, we have to do the combine. But yeah, I'm going to spend a lot of the off season breaking down teams, and the Lions are a team I'm going to be really interested in. So, oh, yes, that's his name. I 100%. That actually, when I do my first draft, unless he just lays an egg in the combine, I'm probably putting him to go to the Lions. Probably. But I think the Lions will have a top 10 pick. Keep in mind, everything changes if Patricia and Quinn don't stay around. So, listen, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Next Saturday, I don't know if I'm going to go back to my old streaming service or if I'm going to keep using this one. It didn't work out the way I thought it would, because I thought the streaming service, I have to go to my YouTube channel to check out the comments. So my boy Tim, he usually responds on Facebook. I'm not able to see any of those options with this new streaming software. But listen, if you are a subscriber to Andrew's Football, you know you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth. All your wildest dreams are going to come true. So if you're new to my channel and you haven't done already, hit that subscribe button and hit One Pride 40. Yes, the only star is Stafford, but I mean, I hate to say this on a bad note, man, but if they go with a new coach, I'm not sure they keep Stafford around. I don't know. I think they should, but I'll just say that. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream. Next Saturday, I'm either going to go back to my old software or I'm going to have it better on this so I can have a little more continuity here. Thank you all for the comments. I'll see you next Saturday.